Okay, so thinking about jumping headfirst into freelancing.
It's a big leap.
It is, but we're diving deep today into advice from Rachel Howe,
Oh, yeah, she's great.
a successful freelancer who built her entire client base from scratch, starting with zero experience.
Too impressive.
And we're going to be dissecting her YouTube video transcript. Uh, by the way, some of her advice might surprise you,
Like what?
like building a portfolio before even having clients.
Really? Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, so let's unpack this.
It's a clever strategy. We'll get to that. But first, Rachel is all about clarity.
Right.
She really emphasizes the need to specify your offering.
Okay, and she doesn't just like drop that wisdom and leave you hanging. She lays out a really practical 3-step process,
Okay.
starting with, you guessed it, listing your skills.
Makes sense.
And she uses UI/UX design as an example, so let's just stick with that for now.
Perfect examples.
So you've got your skills listed.
Things like visual design, user research, wireframing. Step 2 is all about transforming those skills into services you can actually offer.
Right.
So for UI/UX, this might be responsive web design, mobile app design, or even Webflow development.
Webflow development.
Yeah, it's essentially building websites visually using a platform called Webflow.
Okay, I see. So we've got our skills, the services we offer. What's next?
The third step is where you get specific. You outline the deliverables for each service.
Okay.
What exactly will the client receive?
Right.
So for responsive web design, Rachel's example includes things like competitive analysis, so understanding the landscape, user flows, which map out how a user interacts with a website, wireframes, which are like blueprints for the layout, and then high-fidelity UI, which are those detailed visual mock-ups.
Wow, she's thought of everything.
Oh, and she even includes responsive designs, meaning they adapt to different screen sizes.
Oh, that's so important.
Oh, and a design system which ensures consistency across the entire website.
It seems like outlining deliverables is about way more than just like being organized.
Right. Absolutely. It's about positioning yourself strategically in the market. Clients need to understand exactly what they're getting and the value that you bring to the table.
I see.
It also helps you stay focused and deliver consistent results.
That makes total sense. Now, this is where things get interesting.
Okay.
How do you land clients when you need a portfolio to showcase your work, but you need clients to build that portfolio in the first place?
Right. It's the classic freelancer dilemma.
The chicken or the egg?
Exactly. But Rachel has a pretty clever solution.
What's that?
Tackling hypothetical projects.
Interesting.
And she gives some great examples. So imagine you're a potential client and you see a project where a freelancer redesigned a local dentist's website, making it incredibly easy to book appointments.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely catch my eye.
Right.
What other examples did she give?
She also talks about revamping an app landing page to boost downloads.
Okay.
And think about the impact that has on a potential client. They're not just seeing a pretty design, they're seeing a freelancer who understands how design impacts business goals.
That's a great point.
And her third example really drives this home. She suggests analyzing smaller apps in the App Store, identifying areas for improvement, and then coming up with your own design solutions.
Wow.
This shows initiative and a deep understanding of user experience.
Yeah.
You're demonstrating value up front before anyone even hires you.
So you're proving you can walk the walks, not just talk the talk.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've defined your offering, built a portfolio of these hypothetical projects. What's next in Rachel's master plan?
Well, now it's time to package and pitch your services.
Okay.
And she recommends doing some research on other freelancers to get a sense of their pricing and branding.
So it's like market research for freelancers.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do you actually present yourself to potential clients?
Rachel emphasizes the importance of a 1-minute page,
What's that?
a concise and impactful introduction that you can share online or even print out.
So like your elevator pitch on paper.
Exactly.
Okay, so what exactly goes on this 1-minute page?
It needs to be crystal clear, whether you're an individual freelancer or an agency.
Okay.
You'll outline your services, link to your portfolio, highlight what makes you unique, your unique selling proposition,
Right.
and be upfront about your experience.
Okay.
And in this case, it's perfectly fine to say you're new to freelancing, but eager to learn and offer competitive rates. Transparency is key.
It sounds like honesty and authenticity are really important to Rachel.
Absolutely. It's about building trust right from the start.
Right.
Now, you've got your offering dialed in, your pitch is polished. The next big question is, how do you get noticed by potential clients?
Yeah. Where do you even begin?
It can feel overwhelming for sure.
It can.
But Rachel nails it with a simple yet often overlooked question.
Which is?
If you were the client, where would you go to hire someone? And she encourages a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
She talks about exploring freelance platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, but don't stop there.
Yeah.
Networking is still crucial.
Right.
Tapping into your personal connections.
Yeah.
Friends, family, former colleagues
Yeah.
can be incredibly valuable, and don't underestimate the power of referral bonuses.
Word of mouth can be so powerful.
It can.
What about the online world?
That's key too.
Okay.
Platforms like Dribbble and Behance are essential for showcasing visual work.
Right.
Joining specialized online communities where your ideal clients hang out is another great strategy.
It's all about being where your audience is.
Right.
But what if you want to take a more proactive approach?
Rachel encourages direct outreach.
Okay.
Reach out to agencies or companies directly with a tailored pitch.
And that's where your 1-minute page shines.
It is your secret weapon.
What about making sure people can find you organically?
Yes, the power of SEO.
Right.
Making sure your website or portfolio is optimized for search engines, so that when clients search for your services, you pop up.
Right.
And let's not forget about in-person connections.
Yeah.
Attending industry conferences or local meetups can be incredible for networking.
There's something special about that face-to-face interaction.
There is.
And if you're willing to invest a bit, there's always paid advertising.
You can strategically target ads on platforms where your ideal clients spend their time online. Newsletters, social media groups, industry publications.
Right.
But here's where Rachel's advice takes an interesting turn.
Okay.
It's not just about getting found. It's about actively creating value.
I'm really intrigued by this. What does she mean by creating value?
It's about establishing yourself as an expert, someone who genuinely wants to help.
Okay.
It builds trust and sets you apart in a crowded marketplace.
So how can freelancers actually create value?
There are so many ways. Rachel talks about offering free advice, maybe answering questions on Twitter, creating helpful threads. It's about giving back to the community.
Right.
She also emphasizes building a strong online presence.
So sharing your work, insights, and expertise on platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, maybe even starting a YouTube channel or contributing to relevant online communities.
Exactly. You become a thought leader, a go-to resource in your field.
I like that.
But it goes even deeper than that. Rachel suggests contributing to your field in a tangible way.
What do you mean by tangible?
Think about creating helpful resources, templates, plugins, or even a side project that solves a common problem in your industry.
So you're not just telling people what you know, you're showing them and giving them tools to succeed.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating here is the impact this has on you as a freelancer.
Okay.
Rachel believes that this long-term approach to creating value is what transforms you from just another freelancer vying for gigs to the go-to expert,
Wow.
the trusted resource.
That's a powerful shift. It's about building a sustainable business based on expertise and genuine value.
It is.
And speaking of creating value, Rachel took this to a whole new level.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. She built her own product, right?
Yes. An all-in-one Notion workspace to help freelancers manage their clients and projects.
It's incredible. It includes templates for client onboarding, discovery questionnaires, email templates, even NDAs.
Wow.
All designed to streamline the freelance process.
It's like she took her own challenges as a freelancer and turned them into a solution that benefits others. What an inspiring example of creating value.
It is. And it perfectly illustrates how creating something valuable can benefit others, establish you as an authority, and even become a source of income.
Right.
But hold on, because there's even more to Rachel's story. We'll delve into her personal journey, her freelance workflow, and key takeaways from her success in part 2.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of freelancing.
It's great to be back.
Rachel's story is so inspiring, taking her own struggles as a freelancer,
Like all that client management stuff.
keeping track of invoices, all of it, and turning it into a product to help others.
Yeah.
It really shows, her problem-solving skills and that entrepreneurial mindset.
What I find fascinating is how her Notion workspace is a natural extension of her freelance work.
Right.
It just strengthens her expertise, and it adds another layer of value to what she offers.
It's like a brilliant feedback loop.
Yeah.
She helps other freelancers succeed, which in turn boosts her own position in the market.
Exactly. It all circles back to that idea of creating value. She's not just offering services, she's building a community.
Right.
A resource hub for freelancers.
It becomes so much bigger than just landing gigs.
Yeah, it really does.
It's about building a sustainable and fulfilling career.
Definitely.
Speaking of which, Rachel emphasizes the importance of consistency and repetition.
Oh, yeah.
She even says, getting clients is a simple concept.
Rare.
You get good at what you do, you get discovered by people who may need your service, rinse and repeat.
She makes it sound so simple.
Right.
There's a lot of wisdom packed into that statement, though.
Absolutely.
It's about focusing on constantly refining your craft, putting yourself out there, and nurturing those relationships over time.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say.
Exactly.
And Rachel's journey is a testament to that, you know?
Definitely.
She started with no experience, but through dedication and strategic action, built a thriving career.
It's encouraging for anyone who might feel intimidated by the prospect of starting out on their own.
It is. What's remarkable is that Rachel doesn't just tell you what to do, she shows you how.
Oh, yeah.
She walks you through her entire freelance workflow.
Okay.
From onboarding clients to managing projects.
I love that.
She's incredibly generous with her knowledge and insights.
She is.
Speaking of insights, what key takeaways stood out to you from her advice?
Well, one thing that really resonated with me is her emphasis on clarity and specialization.
Okay.
It's tempting to try to be everything to everyone,
It is.
but that rarely works in the freelance world.
Right. You have to find your niche and really own your expertise.
Exactly. And once you have that clarity, it's all about building a portfolio that showcases your skills and the value you bring to clients. And remember, even if you don't have real-world client projects yet, you can create those hypothetical projects to demonstrate your abilities.
Such a smart strategy.
It is. And then, of course, there's the importance of getting discovered.
Right.
Rachel's multi-pronged approach is so valuable.
Yeah.
It's not about relying on one platform or method. It's about being strategic, casting a wide net.
And I love how she emphasizes creating value.
Yes.
It's not just about selling yourself. It's about building relationships,
Right.
offering helpful resources, and becoming a go-to expert in your field.
I think that's the key to long-term success as a freelancer.
It is.
Building a sustainable business based on trust, expertise, and genuine value.
You know, we've covered so much ground.
We have.
But there's one final piece of advice from Rachel that I think is worth highlighting.
I think I know what you're going to say. The part where she talks about building a side project.
Yes. She asked this thought-provoking question. What problem do you encounter often that you couldn't find a solution for?
It's such a powerful question.
It is.
Because it forces you to think about the challenges you face in your own work and life. To see those challenges as opportunities.
And that's exactly how her Notion workspace was born.
Right.
She needed a better way to manage her freelance business.
Yeah.
So she created a solution.
And that solution not only helped her,
Right.
but it's now helping countless other freelancers.
The takeaway here is, don't just complain about problems, solve them.
Exactly.
They might just create something incredible in the process.
And who knows, that side project could even become your main hustle.
Yeah.
Or a fantastic way to add another revenue stream to your freelance business.
It's all about being proactive, creative, and seeing possibilities where others might only see obstacles.
I love that.
And that brings us to the end of part 2.
Yeah, it's about tapping into that entrepreneurial spirit, that drive to create something new and valuable.
Right.
And that's what sets Rachel Howe apart.
Uh-huh.
She's not just a skilled freelancer, she's a true innovator.
Absolutely. Her story is proof that you can build a successful freelance career even if you're starting from scratch.
Yeah, it all comes down to taking action, embracing the learning process, and never being afraid to experiment and try new things.
That's what's so exciting about freelancing, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
You have the freedom to shape your own path.
Right.
To design the career you want on your own terms.
It's incredibly empowering.
It is.
To be your own boss, choose your projects, set your own hours.
Yeah. But it's important to remember that freelancing isn't a magic bullet.
Oh, no.
It takes hard work, dedication, and a willingness to constantly learn and adapt.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not always going to be easy.
No.
But it can be incredibly rewarding.
It can.
And I think Rachel's advice gives us a fantastic roadmap.
Yeah.
A framework for building a freelance career that's both successful and fulfilling.
I agree. So much valuable information to unpack.
So much. So for our listener, what's the one key takeaway you should walk away with from this deep dive?
If I had to distill it down to one essential message, it would be this. Be proactive.
Yeah.
Don't wait for opportunities to come knocking. Create your own opportunities. Invest in building your skills. Showcase the value you bring, and never stop learning and growing.
That's such a powerful message to end on. And for anyone who's ready to dive even deeper into Rachel Howe's wisdom, be sure to check out the full YouTube video. We'll include a link in the show notes.
It's jam-packed with even more tips and strategies for building a thriving freelance career.
So as Rachel says, rinse and repeat. Keep refining your skills, keep putting yourself out there, and keep building that dream freelance career.
And remember, it all starts with that first step. What's one small action you can take today to move closer to your freelance goals?
That's something to think about as we wrap up this deep dive.
It is.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep reaching for those stars.